Hello and welcome to Transform Academy. You are watching the TOEFL course, and this is the fifth module, and it's about TOEFL Speaking Section. I'm your instructor, having 10 plus years of experience in teaching English and preparing students for different tests like TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, Oxford, Language Cert, etc. We'll talk about the course content first. So, this course has five modules. First module was Introduction to TOEFL. Second module was the TOEFL reading section. The third module was TOEFL writing section. The fourth module was TOEFL listening section. And this is the fifth module and the last module, and it's TOEFL speaking section. Now, content of this module. So, in this module, we are going to do the following. First, we'll talk about the learning outcomes. Then, we'll talk about the overview of the TOEFL speaking section. Then, we'll talk about task by task breakdown and answer strategies. Then, we'll talk about task 1, independent speaking, task 2, integrated speaking, task 3 integrated speaking, and task 4 integrated speaking. Then we'll talk about TOEFL speaking challenges and how to overcome them. And then we'll talk about sample high scoring responses and common mistakes. And then this will be followed by a quiz which will assess all of these things. And I'll give you some further resources for your own further practice. If you want to practice with us or if you want online one-to-one tutoring, you can contact us through our website www.wetransformacademyhub.com. Now let's begin. So the learning outcomes for this module. By the end of this module, you'll be able to understand the TOEFL speaking section structure, develop clear and coherent spoken responses, enhance pronunciation, intonation, and clarity, manage time effectively in responses, master independent and integrated speaking tasks, avoid common TOEFL speaking mistakes, and apply high scoring speaking strategies. These are the outcomes you will be able to achieve at the end of this module. Now we'll talk about the detailed overview of the TOEFL speaking section. So, the TOEFL speaking section is designed to assess a test taker's ability to communicate effectively in English in academic and real world settings. It evaluates pronunciation, fluency, coherence, and the ability to integrate information from different sources. This section consists of four tasks and lasts approximately 16 minutes. Now, the TOEFL speaking section format. So, the task type, so we've got the independent task and the integrated task. So, the number of tasks, the independent tasks, we have one, and the integrated tasks are three. And the time per response, so 45 seconds for the independent task and 60 seconds each for the integrated task. Now the skills assessed. So, for the independent task, the speaking skills and opinion expressions, this is what they're assessing. Then the listening, reading, and speaking are assessed in the integrated task. Now, the task breakdown. So, the TOEFL speaking section consists of one independent task in three integrated tasks. Now, the independent task one. So, what it tests? So, it tests your ability to express an opinion or describe personal experiences. The format is you'll be given a short prompt in 15 seconds to prepare, and the speaking time is 45 seconds. This is an example question. Uh, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? This statement: online education is more effective than traditional classroom learning. Use details and examples to support your answer. Then the second is integrated task speaking, task 2, 3, and 4. So the task 2 is reading, listening, plus speaking. So what it tests? It tests your ability to combine reading and listening skills with speaking. Format: read a short passage about 45 seconds, listen to a conversation or lecture about 60 to 90 seconds, prepare for 30 seconds, and then speak for 60 seconds. And the example questions are: a university announces a new policy in the reading passage. Two students discuss their opinion on the policy in the listening passage. You summarize the conversation and express which opinion is better supported. Now, the task 3, that's listening plus speaking. So, what it tests? It tests your ability to summarize and explain information from an academic lecture. And the format is: listen to a professor's short lecture about 90 seconds, prepare for 20 seconds, and then speak for 60 seconds. And the example question is: a professor explains the concept of photosynthesis. You summarize the key points of the lecture. Task 4 is listening plus speaking academic lecture. So, what it tests? It tests your ability to summarize and convey complex academic information. The format is: listen to a lecture on an academic topic about 90 seconds. Prepare for 20 seconds and then speak for 60 seconds. Example question is: a professor explains a psychological theory. You summarize the lecture and explain the key points. Now we'll talk about the TOEFL speaking scoring criteria. Each response is scored on a scale of 0 to 4, which is then converted to a scaled score out of 30. So the 4 is the high, 3 is good, 2 is fair, 1 is weak, and 0 is poor. So the 4 is high, and it says like your response is clear and well organized. You used accurate grammar, you have good pronunciation, and you have done effective use of vocabulary. So you get 4, and that's high. Now the scoring is based on delivery. So that's pronunciation, fluency, and clarity. It's based on the language used. So that's grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. It's based on the topic development, so its coherence, relevance, and logical organization of ideas. Now, the TOEFL speaking time management. Since the speaking section is short and time restricted, good time management is very important. So for task 1, preparation time 15 seconds, for task 2, 30 seconds, for task 3, 20 seconds, and for task 4, 20 seconds. Now the speaking time for task 1 is 45 seconds, and for task 2, 3, and 4 it's 60, 60, and 60 seconds. You can use the prep method, plan, reason, example, and point to structure your response quickly. Now, the TOEFL are speaking challenges and how to overcome these challenges. So, the challenge is running out of time. Most of the students face this challenge, they run out of time. Solution is use a structured template for quick organization. Another challenge is speaking too fast or too slow. So you have to practice pacing and timing responses using a stopwatch. Another challenge is pronunciation issues. So you have to listen to native speakers and practice shadowing techniques. You can repeat after them and keep practicing. Another challenge is lack of vocabulary. So you have to learn high frequency TOEFL words and phrases. Then another challenge is nervousness. So you have to practice speaking under timed conditions and simulate test scenarios. Now, the TOEFL speaking preparation tips. You have to practice under timed conditions to simulate test pressure. You have to use transition words like first, furthermore, in contrast, in conclusion to enhance fluency. You have to avoid long pauses by using filler phrases like that's an interesting question when you're thinking. So instead of just giving long pauses and not speaking and being quiet, you have to use these filler phrases. Record your responses and listen for pronunciation and grammar errors in your own speaking. Use varied sentence structure to show a range of language proficiency. You should not stick to using only simple sentences or only compound sentences. You have to use all of these types of sentences. Now, these are some task specific tips. So, for the independent task, the strategy is quick brainstorm reasons and examples before speaking. For the reading, listening, and speaking question task type, you have to focus on key points from the reading and how they relate to the listening. For the listening plus speaking lecture, you have to listen for key concepts and supporting examples to summarize effectively. Now, the TOEFL speaking practice and sample responses. So, the sample independent task response. Question is, do you prefer studying alone or in a group and why? This is a sample response you can give. I personally prefer studying in a group because it helps me stay motivated and learn different perspectives. For example, when I studied for my history exam with friends, they explained concepts I didn't understand, which improved my learning. Also, discussing topics out loud reinforces my memory. Therefore, studying in a group is more effective for me. Now, this is a sample integrated task response reading plus listening plus speaking. So, reading is the university plans to remove physical textbooks and switch to digital books. Listening, a student disagrees, arguing that digital books strain the eyes and are hard to highlight. So the sample response would be the reading passage states that the university will replace textbooks with digital books to save costs. However, in conversation, the student disagrees. He argues that digital books cause eye strain, making it difficult for study for long hours. Additionally, he prefers physical books because he can highlight key points more easily. Overall, the student believes traditional textbooks are more effective for learning. Now, for the paper based TOEFL, no speaking section. The traditional paper-based TOEFL does not include a speaking section because it was primarily designed to assess reading, listening, and writing skills for academic English. So the speaking component not included. Test mode, paper and pencil. Skill tested, listening, structure, grammar, reading, and writing. Scoring range 310 to 677 and no separate speaking score. Availability it's rare and phased out in most countries. Why was speaking not included? So when the paper based version was introduced, speaking assessments were difficult to conduct without digital recording tools. It was designed for students in countries without reliable internet access, making a computer based speaking test impractical. Who might take the paper based test today? In rare cases, paper based may still be offered in regions where computer based testing is not feasible. However, most universities prefer the TOEFL IBT, which includes speaking. Now, the computer based TOEFL or the internet based TOEFL, computer based TOEFL, you can call them CBT, or internet based TOEFL, we can call them IBT. So, the TOEFL IBT internet based is a standard and widely accepted format, including a full speaking section. It's conducted on a computer in a test center with recorded responses sent for evaluation. So the speaking component, yes, it has 4 tasks, 16 minutes. The test mode, it's computer based internet delivery. The skills tested, so reading, listening, speaking, and writing. The scoring range is 0 to 30 for each section, and the total it's 120 score. And availability, so it's worldwide available. Now, speaking section format in TOEFL IBT internet based or CBT computer based. So, the task type, the number of questions, the time per response, and the skills tested. So, we have the independent task. So number of questions 1, time per response 45 seconds, and skills tested opinion based speaking. We have the integrated task 1, reading, listening, speaking. Number of questions 1, integrated task 2, listening, speaking. Number of question 1, integrated task 3, listening plus speaking. Number of questions 1. Now, a time per response is 60 seconds in task 2, task 1, 2, and 3. And the skills tested in integrated task 1, so it's summarizing spoken plus written information. In task integrated task 2, it's summarizing a conversation. And integrated task 3, it's summarizing an academic lecture. Now, how it works. So the test taker speaks into a microphone and responses are recorded and sent to ETS Educational Testing Service for scoring. The scoring process involves AI grading plus human raters to ensure fairness. Why is the TOEFL IBT preferred? Because it's accepted by 11,500 plus universities globally, and it's more accurate assessment of the real world academic speaking skills, and its flexible test dates are available in authorized test centers and at home. Now the next generation TOEFL IBT, or it's computer based or it's internet based, 2023 update and TOEFL. So in 2023, ETS introduced an improved version of the TOEFL IBT with enhanced scoring, shorter test duration, and an improved at home testing options. So the speaking components, yes, for tasks, same as the TOEFL IBT. Test mode, computer based, in center or at home with AI proctoring. Skills tested, reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Scoring range 0 to 30 for speaking and total 120. Test duration reduced from 3 hours to under 2 hours. Availability, it's global, including TOEFL IBT Home Edition. Now, the key upgrades in the next generation TOEFL speaking section. What are the key upgrades that are done in this section? So it's faster scoring, score reporting, scores available within 4 to 6 days instead of 10. It's AI assisted scoring, increased use of AI for speaking and writing to reduce scoring bias. TOEFL IBT Home Edition. So, option to take the entire test at home under AI proctoring. Shorter test time. So, speaking remains 16 minutes, but overall test time is reduced. Why take the next generation TOEFL IBT? Because it's more accessible and can be taken at home. It has faster results and scores within days. It's same difficulty level, but it's more efficient. Now the comparison table of the TOEFL speaking across different formats for the paper-based, for the IBT, and for the next generation. So the features: the paper-based TOEFL, PBT, the TOEFL IBT standard internet based, and the TOEFL next generation IBT. So the speaking section. So there is no speaking in the paper based, and there are four tasks, 16 minutes in the IBT, and four tasks, 16 minutes in the next generation. The test mode. So as it's paper based in the PBT and it has no speaking section, IBT computer based, and next generation computer based and at home. The scoring method, so no speaking score in the PBT, AI plus human raters, and AI plus human raters in rest of both of these. The test duration, so 3.5 hours in the paper based, 3 hours in the IBT standard, and under 2 hours in the next generation TOEFL. Now the test availability. So paper based is available in limited regions, IBT is available in worldwide, and the next generation TOEFL is available worldwide, test center plus home. Now accepted by universities. So the paper based is accepted by few, has limited acceptances, and these both are widely accepted. Exam flexibility. So fixed dates, are for the paper based, the internet based is flexible, and the next generation is flexible, plus it has home edition. Now, final thoughts on which TOEFL version should you take. So choose computer based IBT or the next generation if you need a computer speaking assessment, you are applying to universities in the US, UK, Canada, or Australia, or you want global recognition and fast results. Avoid the paper based TOEFL PBT if you need a speaking score since PBT does not have a speaking section. If you are applying to a university that requires TOEFL IBT. Now, sample high scoring responses and common mistakes in TOEFL speaking. So, to excel in TOEFL speaking section, it's important to structure your responses well, use clear pronunciation, and demonstrate fluency. Below are high scoring response examples for each type of TOEFL speaking task along with common mistakes to avoid. The independent task, a speaking task, and the personal opinion. So the prompt is: do you prefer studying alone or in a group? Provide reasons for your choice. So this is the sample response, the high scoring response. I personally prefer studying alone because it allows me to focus without distractions. When I study alone, I can manage my time effectively and concentrate on difficult topics. However, group study can be helpful for discussions, but for deep learning, I find solo studying more effective. Now, the common mistakes you can have, or most of the students can have, is speaking too fast or too slow. So, you have to aim for a natural pace. Lack of organization, so you always state your opinion, support it with reasons, and conclude it. Using overly complex words incorrectly, so you have to stick to clear and accurate language. Now, the integrated speaking task one, that's reading plus listening plus speaking. So, the prompt is: summarize the main idea of the lecture and explain how it relates to the reading passage. Suppose you read the passage and you heard the lecture. Now, you're going to summarize the main idea of the lecture and you're going to explain how it relates to the reading passage. So, this is a sample high scoring response. The reading passage discusses the effects of urbanization on wildlife, stating that it reduces their natural habitats. The lecture supports this idea by providing an example of birds adapting to city environments. The professor explains that while some species struggle, others develop new behaviors to survive. This supports the reading's main argument that urbanization has both negative and adaptive effects on animals. The common mistakes to avoid: ignoring the reading passage details. So, you don't have to ignore the reading passage details. Always link both sources in your response. Giving personal opinions. So, you have to just summarize, you don't have to express your own opinions. Speak without pauses. So you have brief pauses, improve clarity and fluency. So you can't just read everything in one go. Now the integrated speaking task two, the listening plus speaking. So you're going to summarize the student's problem and explain the two possible solutions discussed. So this is a sample high scoring response. The student in the conversation has trouble submitting an assignment on time because his laptop crashed. The women suggest two solutions: using the library computers to rewrite the paper or explaining the issue to the professor for an extension. The student is unsure, but the second option seems better since the professor might be understanding. Now, the common mistakes. So, missing key details. Take notes while listening to remember important points so you won't miss the main some key details. Not explaining both solutions. You always mention all solutions given in the conversation. Poor sentence structure. Use simple, clear sentences to express ideas. Now, integrated speaking task 3, and that's lecture plus summary. So the prompt is explain the professor's viewpoint on the topic discussed in the lecture. This is a sample high scoring response. The professor discusses the importance of teamwork in the workplace. He explains that collaboration leads to better problem solving and efficiency. He provides an example of a company where employees work in teams, which helps them complete projects faster. This supports the idea that teamwork enhances productivity. Now, the common mistakes is that forgetting to mention the professor's opinion. So don't just summarize, state the professor's perspective. Speaking too briefly, aim for a well structured 45 to 60 seconds response. Using filler words excessively, avoid too many or you have to avoid this. Now, the tips for a high scoring response. So, first, you have to use a structured approach: introduction, main points, conclusion. Speak at a natural pace, don't rush or pause too much. Take notes, capture key ideas in transitions. Practice with a timer. Stay within the response time limit. Use varied sentence structures. Avoid repetitive phrases. The types of questions in the speaking section. So these are the types of questions you will see on the TOEFL academic speaking test and the next generation speaking test. So experiences, preferences, reports, examples, problems, and summaries. So, question number one: experiences. In this section, you'll be asked to speak about a personal experience. This may be a place, a person, a possession, a situation, or an occasion. After you hear the question, you will make a choice from your experience and then explain why you made that choice. You will have 15 seconds to prepare and 45 seconds to speak. Example question is: where would you like to study in the United States? So the task is describe your experience, explain the reason for your choice. The direction is read question 1, the example notes, and the example answer. Use the checklist to learn how to rate a speaking response for this type of question. So these are example notes: Washington, D.C. Family and area, advice, help, international city, food stores, tours, sites, trains to other cities, universities, excellent, accepted at one. Now, this is the script for an example answer. I'd like to study at a university in Washington, D.C. because I have family in the area and it would be nice to have them close by so I could visit them on holidays and in case I need advice or help. I've been to Washington several times and I like it there. It's an international city and there are restaurants and stores where I can buy food and other things from my country while I'm living abroad. And Washington is an exciting place. I've gone several tours, but I still have many places on my list of sites to see. Also, there are trains to New York and Florida, so I could take advantage of my free time to see other cities in the United States. As for the universities, there are several excellent schools in Washington, and I'd probably be accepted at one of them. Now this is the checklist. The talk answers the topic Question. Yes. The point of view or position is clear. Yes. The talk is direct and well organized. The sentences are logically connected to each other. Details and examples support the main idea. The speaker expresses complete thoughts. The meaning is easy for the listener to comprehend. A wide range of vocabulary is used. There are only minor errors in grammar, and the talk is within a range of 125 to 150 words. So once you practice this yourself, you can apply this checklist on your own practice speaking. Now, in the same way, we have all those questions, preferences, the directions, the example questions, the task, the direction, example notes, and then the script for example answer. So you can pause for each of these, then we have the checklist. So you can pause for each of these questions, read and practice. This is for question number 3, direction, reading, task. These are example notes, and this is script for example answer, and this is the checklist. Then you can go to question number 4, uh, the example question. Explain the bug experiment and why the results supported the basic theory of child language acquisition. The task, the direction, the reading, and the lecture. These are example notes, and this is an example script for the example answer. In English, there are several important word endings that express grammatical relationships. For example, the ed ending that signals the speakers talking about the past, and the s ending that means more than one when it's used at the end of a noun. So when children learn English, they take they make errors in these endings, but they gradually refine their use until they master them. In the work experiment, Burko developed nonsense words to get children to use endings, so the researchers could follow their development. It was important not to use real words because the children might have been influenced by a word they had heard before. So this experiment provided data about the time it takes and the age when endings are learned. It supported the basic theory of child language that sorting out grammatical errors is a feature of the speech of 4 years olds and a stage in language acquisition. And you can then check this checklist. Then you can practice question 5, conversation, example notes, script for example answer, and this is the checklist. Question number 6, example question, task, direction, the lecture, the example notes, and the example script, and the checklist finally. Now, all this is followed by a quiz that assesses the learning of everything that you have done. So let's look at the quiz. First, we have the MCQs, and we have 10 questions. Question 1, how many tasks are there in the TOEFL IBT speaking section? 2, 4, 5, 6. Choose the correct option. And in the same way, do question 1, question 2, question 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we have 5 true false questions. You're allowed to re-record your response if you make a mistake. If it's true, write T. If it's false, write F. And do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the true false. And again 5 questions in the short answer questions. Name 2 key scoring criteria for the TOEFL speaking section. After you're done with the quiz, you can check your answers here with the answer key. Part 1 MCQs 1 to 10, all the answers are here. Part 2 true false 1 to 5, all the answers are here. Part 3 short answers 1 to 5, all the answers are here. Now, these are some further resources. These are some websites. You can practice your TOEFL speaking or your TOEFL overall different sections there. This is an app where you can practice. This is an Android or iOS app where you can practice your TOEFL. But if you want to practice with us, with expert teachers, you can contact us through our website, wetransformacademyhub.com. Like, share, and subscribe for more language videos. We also have IELTS course in detail are on our website www.wetransformacademyhub.com and on our YouTube channel Language Guru 01. You can contact us through our website for personal online one-to-one tutoring or for further practice. We also are having different other courses on our YouTube channel and our website. They are IELTS courses, different tests like Duolingo, the basic to advanced English language courses. So these all courses are going to help you. So you can contact us and watch on our YouTube channel. Thank you.